Alright, what's up everyone? Got my next build going on here for my nephew. It's the Predator212 6.5 horse motor going on the Motovox MB10, which originally had this 3 horse piece of crap on it. You see the difference. It's a little baby motor. Now we're going to Predator 212. Had to strip everything off of it, including the exhaust system. It's too big, it won't clear the frame, so that had to go. The exhaust system, I got the port covered up. I'm going to have to order an aftermarket header that comes out this way. It'll be straight piped. It's going to sound like a Harley. And I had to remove the air cleaner box too. It's over there. It's not going to fit anymore. And these are common problems when you try to squeeze a big motor into a little bike. I'm sure it's the same with cars. And the original chain, the number 35 chain, the number 35 clutch, and the number 35 sprocket has to go. So I ordered a new 420 chain sprocket, and that's coming. $89 for a freaking sprocket. But it's coming, and I'll just keep this one for another project. And I got the new chain over here. It's much beefier, as you can see. This is a number 420 chain, so it'll take the horsepower without snapping. If you want to see it in retrospect or in comparison. There's not much light in here, but you can see it's a much skinnier chain. So I'm putting the fat beefy one on there, so I have to change the clutch to a 420, and I put a 60 tooth on the back to make up. I got plenty of power now, and I have a torque converter on here. See, it'll throw power from the motor, from the clutch, the centrifugal clutch, over to the first cog and reduce the speed and increase the torque to a smaller gear and shoot that back to the 62 sprocket I got coming in 420 chain, and it'll have a real good top end, you know. So if it didn't have the power, I couldn't go 60 tooth on it, but I did a 60 tooth because I got the power to drive that sprocket. So it'll not only be torquey, but it'll be fast, but you know, not dangerous fast like the tabs. You know, you guys are familiar with those, the constant velocity transmission. But if the little dork gets good on this, and, you know, maybe someday I could get him up to a TAV. And fortunately, now that I have this motor on here, I could slap a CVT right on here. I already got the sprocket. I already got the chain. All I got to do is tear this apart and lift it up a little bit. Boom. So I could actually make this bike just like that one when he's ready for it. That's my other nephew's bike. He's not quite ready for anything yet, but that one's malfunctioning. So I'm going to throw a new clutch on it, and I think just a new engine too, and just get it running really good for him. You know, do the brakes and get it going. But this thing ought to be pretty cool. I've seen them on YouTube, the Motovox MBX10 with the Predator 212. That's what we're doing. It's been done before. I got to modify the exhaust. I got to modify the air. I have to modify the rear sprocket, clutch, and chain. But other than that, you know, I'll have to cut a few things off too and move the fender, because the fender ran into the valve cover. So there ain't a whole lot of room, but it's going to fit in there. When I get my new sprocket, I'll throw it on there. I might have to cut this off, but I won't need it anymore anyways. That was for the original chain tensioner, but we don't have to go that route anymore. So I might have to cut that little tab off too underneath the torque converter jack shaft. If you can see it right here, I'm not sure, but we'll see when it's time. But there you go, YouTubers, building another bike. This one should be pretty crazy. It's awful small and lighter than the Coleman, and I'll keep you updated on how it goes. But it should be a real kick in the pants after getting rid of this little thing. It's such a joke. Look at it. It's just a wee little thing. All right, later. Holla.